Chapter 1, Whispered Secrets. I'm one of you. Startled, having thought I'd found a rare moment of solitude on Canada's Parliament Hill, I spun around to find the source of the whispering voice behind me. There in the previously bustling location of the 2010 March for Life stood a young man. Nothing about him stood out. He appeared safe, so I wasn't alarmed. His words, however, puzzled me. Did he know who I was? Had he been there earlier that day when I told my story to the huge crowd that gathered before the march began? And what did he mean by, "I'm one of you"? Perhaps he'd seen my knees buckle in grief as I marched past one of the abortion clinics operated by the infamous Canadian abortionist, Dr. Henry Morgentaler. Did he just want me to know that he too was passionate about protecting the lives of the unborn? "Do I know you?" I replied cautiously. This is going to go one of two ways, I thought. He's going to be embarrassed by having whispered that to me, possibly mistaking me for someone else. Or, if he meant what I suspect, our worlds are about to be rocked by this meeting. He smiled. "I know who you are. You're an abortion survivor. I'm one too." Not only was he not mistaken about my identity, we shared the same identity. I moved closer and saw that his eyes reflected my own sense of wonder. This was the first time in my life I'd ever come face to face with another abortion survivor. My heart rate quickened as anticipation swept over me. Was I really about to trade survival stories with someone who, like me, had survived an effort to snuff out his life before he'd taken his first breath? I studied his face as if trying to discern his story through his appearance. He looked young, younger than my 33 years. Sensing the curiosity in my eyes, he began to tell me his story. He was 21, an adoptee like me. He had learned the truth about his birth story only 1 year earlier, when he'd met his biological mother. He turned around to show me the back of his head, which was visibly flattened from what he was told was an injury sustained during the attempted abortion. We both understood that we had so much in common. We were both members of a select group, a band of often silent, often overlooked, often disbelieved individuals whose stories don't fit the predominant narrative that abortion is all about the mother and her freedom of choice. Our short time together had a profound impact on me. I felt validated, seen, understood. I suspect it did the same for him, for there is great power in recognizing that you are not alone. Alone. I've been there. Truth be told, I wish I didn't have to write a book like this. I've only done so because children are still being aborted. But until that changes, I want there to be more stories told about abortion survivors. I want them alive to tell their own stories, which means they receive proper medical care and were not left alone to die. I have a dream for this book, that an outpouring of action will flow from people hearing these stories. If your perspective has altered and your understanding has grown, then your life is no longer the same. And changed lives lead to transformed societies. Every survivor in this book has helped shape their world, and you can do the same. Let's heal together. Let's break the silence in our families. Let's raise our collective voices. Let's not hesitate to confront media outlets that bury or even ignore stories about survivors, about post-abortive women and men, or about medical professionals and clinic workers who have seen the truth about abortion, all of whom threaten the predominant media narrative. Finally, let's hold our legislators accountable for their actions, making sure to thank and encourage those who support and respect life. It's time to do away with secrets. In their place, it is time to have difficult conversations about past choices and painful experiences. Supporting abortion survivors and their families begins with understanding the circumstances that drive birth mothers to consider abortion. Demonstrating love and compassion for everyone involved is another important step. Take what you've learned from this book and apply it to your thoughts, your conversations, and most importantly, your interactions with others. How different would our culture look if the truth were told, if survivors were acknowledged and supported instead of discredited and ridiculed? How different would our world look if we acknowledged the impact of abortion and our need for healing? How different would our society look if we spoke of abortion openly and respectfully, not in hushed whispers or angry arguments? Together, our voices will be amplified. I hope you will add your voice to those you hear about in this book. As Nobel Peace Prize winner Malala Yousafzai so beautifully stated, we realize the importance of our voice when we are silenced. It is time for abortion survivors to break their silence.